Good evening, everybody. I am Marco Buscema. I'm an Italian attorney. I'm founding partner of WIL, Worldwide Independent Lawyers League. Welcome to today's presentation about new relationships between United Arab Emirates and Israel. And valuable speakers such as Federica Bertolini, business consultant, business founding partner of business agency Noor in Dubai, and our will lawyer Joseph Weinrauch. I told Yossi because normally I name him Yossi confidentially, but we are in official session. So Joseph Weinrauch from Tel Aviv, and we have also attorney Abel George, will member operating in Dubai. He will also tell us something about the new situation. So first, let's meet the attendees shortly. Name, surname, city, practice area, BNI chapter were present. So let's start exactly from Abel George from Dubai.
A very good day to each one of you. First of all, thank you to Marco for the wonderful introduction and for his initiative. In fact, it's the first time I got a chance to say that openly. So to introduce about myself, I'm Abel George, associated with a firm called Chancery Chambers here in Dubai. My forte is commercial litigations and arbitrations, more particularly into real estate disputes nowadays. I'm a part of a chapter, BNI chapter called BNI Billionaires. We are actually in the inception stage, yet to launch, but yeah, a proud will member, of course. So great. Thank you, and handing over the baton to the presenters.
Okay, you will add something more about the new situation afterwards. Thank you, Abel. So let's go to Mexico. Luz Elena Tobón.
Buenos días, Mexico. Good afternoon. Over there in Europe, I'm Luz Elena Tobón from Mexico City. I'm an immigration lawyer, proud member of Lomas chapter in Mexico, and proud member of WIL. I'm really happy to be in this historic reunion and session. Go, Joseph.
Great, Luz Elena. Let's stay in Mexico. I see Alejandro Martinez. Alejandro.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. I'm from Mexico City. My chapter BNI is in Kenya. I'm a tax specialist and in intellectual property specialist. Is be happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Alejandro. So let's go to Turkey. Begüm Mermeroğlu from Ankara. Begüm.
Hi, everybody again. It's great to see you here, and I'm really excited to hear from your side about all the news. And our law firm is established in Ankara, but we are also in BNI Istanbul, Alesta chapter. And I'm also working for foreign trade and commercial law. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So I see Benjamin Aguiniga from Mexico. Benjamin.
Hi, everybody. I'm Benjamin. I'm from Mexico. I'm tax specialist. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Benjamin. Very quick and focused. Thank you very much. So let's go to India. Pallavi the attorney, Pallavi Divekar. Pallavi.
A warm hello to everyone from me, Dr. Pallavi Divekar, from the Miracle Chapter of BNI Mumbai, India. I'm a proud member of WIL. I extend my best wishes to Joseph today for today's presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Pallavi. Let's go back to Mexico. I see Abel Morales. Abel.
Hello, everybody. This is Abel Morales from Mexico. I am an attorney at law. I'm a specialist in intellectual property, and I also prepare legal and technical English, Spanish translations. And well, I'm a member of the Sonico chapter, and it's nice to be here with you. Thank you.
Will Mexico, the best in the world. Then let's go to, for now, but Italians are coming. So let's, just kidding. Let's go, I see Javier Diaz de Leon. Javier? Oh, maybe some issues.
Hi, listen to me.
Ciao, ciao. Javier, please
Te
introduce yourself.
escuchamos, Javier.
Hi, listen to me.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. Hi, thank you. Hi, my name is Javier Diaz de Leon from Chapter Omega in Mexico City. I consult the registry property of commerce in Mexico City and rest of country. We have connections with Peru and Guatemala. How do we make for you? Our offer is express
En español, Javier.
Service.
Okay.
Same. Gracias. Mi respuesta es en 1, 2, 3 horas en todo el país. Es decir, si tú quieres saber cómo está tu propiedad o alguna empresa, yo te puedo dar el estatus legal de la misma, de cualquier sociedad o de cualquier inmueble, cualquier propiedad. Y lo que busco son empresas afianzadoras, brokers de fianzas y firmas de abogados para realizar la consultoría.
Perfecto.
Gracias, Marco.
Perfecto. Lucelena, can you translate the last part of Javier speech?
Javier is the specialist in consultations through the Registry of Property or Commerce in Mexico. So anyone that needs an express service, his answers are in hours, in a couple of hours. He may tell you how's the situation of someone in their real estates or any company in all the wide of the Mexican Republic and also in Guatemala and Peru.
And
he's looking for law firms that needs these consultations or brokers.
Great. And focus on the detail on how smart Javier is with the seatbelt with the same colors of the tie. So perfect.
Yeah.
Very Italian, Javier, very Italian.
Thank you.
So let's go to Hong Kong. I see Elsa. Elsa Low. Elsa?
Hello, ciao, everybody. And this is Elsa Law from Hong Kong Attraction Chapter. I'm afraid I can't really speak too well. You will probably hear a lot of noise because I'm actually on the street. I am specializing in commercial law and labor law. And if you know anyone who might need services in Hong Kong, please refer them to me. And that's all from me. Thank you.
Right. Elsa, please revise your email. I sent to you something related to the trademark application, okay?
Oh, okay. I haven't checked it yet. I'll check it.
Yeah, please do it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, let's go to Canada, to Montreal. Fritz Gérald Morisseau. Fritz.
Good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Fritz Gérald Morisseau. Bonjour, Montréal, Canada. I focus on commercial business law and intellectual property. All the best, Joseph. Congratulations, Marco, as well, and Joseph for the new Israel. And Shana Tova. This will definitely be a sweet, sweet year for Will and all of us.
With God's help.
Great. So let's come back to Europe. I see Ioana Enachescu from Ploiești, Romania.
Hello, Marco. Hello, everybody. Once again, my name is Ioana Enachescu. I'm a lawyer for 16 years. I have my own law office in Ploiești. I specialize in corporate law, labor law, and data protection. All the best for the today presentation. Thank you.
Great. So then I see Mario Riccio from Reggio Emilia, Italy. Mario? No, wait. Then. Okay.
This is Mario Riccio from Reggio Emilia, Italy. I specialize in commercial law and public law. Nice to hear Mr. Joseph.
Great. And okay, great. Thank you, Mario, for attendance. Then let's go to Germany. I see Maximilian Breitling. Maximilian, can you hear us? Because your microphone and video are deactivated. Please, Joseph, Maximilian.
Hi, everybody. As you can see, I'm in my car also. I hope you can hear me. And I really wanted to attend this presentation of Joseph, of my very dear friend. I'm Maximilian Breitling from Munich, Germany. And my practice area is company law, restructuring, and insolvency.
Okay, that's great. I see also Mattia Jamnik, but there are some connection. He's busy with something very important now, but he is with us. So let's start our session officially. Please, I ask all the people, but they are very disciplined. All the microphones are muted. Okay, so we start our session, 20-25 minutes, then Q&A session. Sorry, yeah, Jesus. Wow, I forgot Jesus. So Jesus Orosa from Spain.
Thank you, Marco. Hi, everybody. My name is Jesus Oroza. I'm a lawyer in Spain, specialized in litigation. I'm based in Ferrol, Spain. My BNI chapter is BNI ACO Albatros, and I'm very proud of being here to attend this historic presentation. Go ahead, babe.
Okay, thank you, Jesus, and apologize for forgetting you. Okay, let's go now. Let's start our session. So the two speakers, main speakers, Federica Bertolini, owner and founding partner of the business consultancy agency Noor, with a base in Dubai, from the United Arab Emirates business side. And then together with Joseph Weinrauch, member and attorney in Tel Aviv, Israel. So I leave the stage to you both and look forward to listening to you. No, okay, great. That's the proper show. Yeah, you can go ahead. Yeah.
Is it right now? Okay.
It's right. It's great. It's okay.
So, hi everyone. My name is Federica Bertolini. I am Italian, but I have been living in Dubai since 2012. I am the founder and the owner of Noor International, a company specialized in business setup onshore and offshore in the United Arab Emirates. My background, I've got 25 years experience in international tax planning. And because of that, I've been nominated as the jurisdiction editor for the UAE with the International Tax Planning Association in the United Kingdom. I speak English, I speak Italian, and I'm trying very hard to learn Arabic, but it's difficult, but I'm trying very hard. My firm is totally independent. My focus is on finding the best solution for the client, regardless of where the company is going to be open. My client base are micro, small, and medium firms. And I pride myself of the incubator service that I give before the setup of the company, because that's vital for the success of the client's venture. Over to you, Joseph.
Thank you, Federica. Hello, everybody. My name is Joseph Feinroch. I'm an attorney in Israel since 1987. I speak English, German, and Hebrew quite well. I'm former state employed. I was a professional manager of one of the biggest firms in Israel. I am independent since 2006. I prefer to give personal services. The availability of my offices are cross-border. That means I specialize in solving problems from one country that are occurring in another country. And I am a proud member and director of WIL. I'm on this project for 3.5 years now, and I think it's very important for my career and for myself. Thank you, Federica. Next one, please. Okay, now we are gathered together to celebrate a very big event. It is big because it is logical. Finally, logic has won politics. That's something to celebrate. Now, if we look at the two countries of United Arab Emirates and Israel, we will see some similarity. You can see it in the numbers here. Israel has about 9 million people. UAE have 9.9 million. Most of the population in Israel are Jewish, but we come from 80 different countries. We have almost 2 million Muslims and Christians, and 436,000 we call others. The United Arab Emirates have 1 million original Emirates and 8.8 million from 200 and so countries. You have different, also in the Emirates, you have different religions, which is very important for us to know that they are treated very liberal there. Now, you can see that Israel is a very small country. We have 22,000 square kilometers compared to 83,000 of the Emirates. The GDP of Israel is smaller than the one of the Emirates. We are close to a bit over 36,000, while the Emirates have reached over 43,000. The Israeli army is one of the biggest armies in the world. We have 621,000. I like to give this number in order to explain why we focus on certain issues in Israel. If you compare it to the Emirates, they also have a quite impressive army of 200,000. We spend in Israel 6% each year of the GDP on defense, and it turns out that the Emirates spend 5.6%. So that's also a similarity. So we are talking about two little countries, small countries, but with a lot of common issues. Now, the reason that these two countries could not have a bilateral relationship was political. It happened 50 years ago. What is most important is to say that there was never a shot fired between Emirates and Israel. We didn't shoot at them, they didn't shoot at us. So why didn't it happen? Politics. But now, Federica, please go ahead and we will show you what happened.
Yes, this is what we call the peace process, that in a normal situation, it might have taken years, but actually, from the day it happened, it's only been 1 month. It's been so quick that it's unreal. On the 13th of August, just over a month ago, Israel and the UAE closed a historic peace agreement that will normalize diplomatic relations and actually forge cooperation agreement across several number of sectors. This agreement has been called the Abraham Accord and was reached by the two people in the pictures, the Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, and the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. A few days later, they signed the deals, and on the 29th of August, something huge happened in the UAE. From 1972, they actually treated a decree to abolish the Israeli boycott law, meaning that from the 29th of August, we are able to do business with Israel, to travel to Israel, and to welcome Israeli citizens into the UAE. On the 31st of August, the first flight from Israel landed in Abu Dhabi, and just a few days ago, on the 15th of September, the UAE and Israel signed the agreement in Washington.
I would like to add to this slide, or to this point, that in Israel there was not a similar law from 1972 or whatever that declared the Emirates as a country that we could not have a relationship with, in difference to other countries who shot at us, who made war with us. And so what you can see is a process that happened after 50 years, and then it happens very quickly, and the speed shows that it was the logical thing to do. And now when something logical happens, then it's very easy to develop it. And we will show that to you now.
Yes.
Please, Federica.
Well, the UAE and Israel are the most developed economies in the Middle East. They are, as you can see, strategically located between Europe, Africa, and Asia. Their economies have actually grown consistently during the course of the last 2 decades. Each of them on their own. Can you imagine what they can achieve when they will start collaborating? Even if the UAE is one of the major oil producers in the world, the Emirates have implemented a policy of economic diversification that is aimed at supporting the development of other strategic sectors such as logistics, transportation, tourism, education, technology. And the aim of this is to increase the contribution of the non-oil sector to the formation of the GDP to 80% by 2022. And it is in all these sectors that are non-oil that Israel and the UAE will take the Middle East to an all new level in the next few years. Both countries, as everybody knows, are accredited internationally as a model based on scientific research, high technology, and they are a platform for the realization of futuristic projects with, the technology that has been developed in Israel is known to everybody. And both countries have huge investments in innovative sectors such renewable energy, biotechnologies, robotics, solar energies, and actually collaboration, even though this peace deal is only less than a month old, have already started. Am I right, Joseph?
Yes, I want to add that when the Emirates sent their missile to Mars, actually we in Israel were very proud, although there was no deal yet done. But we were so happy that an Arab country succeeded in such a great achievement, because we know that knowledge will bring peace. Yeah. So we really gave them all the applause possible, and we are very proud, and we hope that this project will succeed. Now, after the peace treaty was announced, already you can see that there are certain mega projects getting on the way. We read about that there are agreements about in cultural and in cultural issues, film and television. There is most important agreements between Israeli banks, one Israeli major bank and also one major bank of the Emirates. That means that the money transfer will be done in a very smooth way and very convenient for the client. And there is already an ongoing negotiation to try to, that the partnership of in the Emirates will try to make a bid on the Israeli Haifa port privatization, which will become one of the biggest ports in Israel in the Mediterranean. Now, there are major players already on the ground trying to get pieces of the major action, like with the Israel Airlines to launch direct commercial flights and so on. And we anticipate, and that is now, just a minute, one sentence before, I would say that we would like to see that the medium and small size will come after the big players into the game and will try to get their activities in the area through this new opportunity. Now we anticipate that both governments will work on a double taxation treaty, which will bring very big advantages for people who will invest in one country to work with the other country or the other way around, because I must say that we all have to envy the Emirates for their tax program. It is very, very sympathetic to investors, and as long as the profit doesn't have to be divided, and you work in this area, in the Emirates, the tax rates are very low. So now we have put together, with Federica's help, we have put together a slide that shows that there are different legal structures possible in the Emirates. Now, for me as an Israeli or an Israeli investor, this is an opportunity that was not open until 1 month ago. But also for others, for your clients in other countries, this is an opportunity to reach the market of Israel, to make investments and to work on a greater scheme through the Emirates and enjoy the tax rate as long as the profit doesn't have to be divided. When the profit has to be divided according to the domestic rules of each country, then of course the local regulations will prevail. But in the meanwhile, the partnership that works in Emirates will be dealt under the tax regime of the Emirates. So you can see we have all kinds of legal structures possible. They have offshore, they have free zones, they have financial centers, they have remote, they have so many opportunities because the Emirates are very, very keen to have foreign investors working, operating in their area. So this is what you can tell your clients. Please go ahead, Frederic.
Yes. Yes, the UAE is actually very famous for its ease of doing business and for welcoming foreign investors. For the people who followed my presentation about a couple of months ago, I illustrated how the UAE offers the most lucrative, no personal or corporate taxation opportunity for business investors, local, residents, and foreign. And but what I wanted to stress about is what is the advantage? Because me and Raphael, me and Joseph are really excited about this deal. We've been talking about it for about a month. But what is the advantage that the rest of the world can have from this historic development between the UAE and Israel? Well, now that the two countries can do business together, also the rest of the world can do business with the two of them together. And what do I mean by this? Well, the force of the UAE is the network that they have created during the years. We have 90 plus double taxation treaties in force. And with the treaty that the network that they have at the moment, it's already wider than countries like Cyprus, Hong Kong, Ireland, Luxembourg, Singapore, and the Mauritius. And if you want to include the double taxation treaties that are waiting to be ratified, actually the UAE network is wider than Switzerland and the Netherlands. And they have the biggest network of double taxation treaties in Africa, with 13 active and 17 waiting ratification. So basically, this makes the UAE the ideal hub for companies who wish to approach the Israeli market and vice versa. Am I right, Joseph?
Definitely, definitely. When I saw Federica's presentation 2 months ago or so, actually, we were talking what will happen with the relationship between Israel and Emirates, and we didn't know what's going to happen a few days later.
Yes.
But I was very much impressed that, first of all, of the capability of Federica to arrange everything. That is very important. When you have a client, he needs to have everything done quickly in a logical way, in a legal way. And when that is possible in an environment that is so, with such low tax rates, I mean, it's like heaven. So yeah, that's why I asked her, where are we going? And we didn't know, but now we can go, because I immediately saw the potential. So you can see that this treaty opens up. I said to her, I gave an example of, there are two people who are in the same group of friends. They didn't talk to each other, but they have the same friends. Now they talk to each other. What happens to their network? Nothing, it's the same friend. But now we have two people who have different friends. One has these friends over there on that side, and the other one has his own friends on the other side. Now these two people combine, suddenly you have a big party. And that's what's going to happen here, because this is going to be a huge party. The Israeli network, overseas, America, etc., Europe, with the other side of the Emirates, with their treaties and friends and connections. So this is what we are opening. And we have the people on the ground. Federica knows how to do this for 25 years. So go ahead, Federica.
Well, a special mention is work for the Expo, that it should have been this year, but it has been postponed to next year from October 2021 to April 2022. And it is now official that Israel will have their own pavilion. And we're really, really happy about this. Actually, I went to the last Expo in Milan, and I remember that the Israel pavilion was one of the best in the show, really.
Thank
so you. This is our presentation. Peace, salam, and
hello.
Shalom.
So that's great. I propose to open up our mics and tribute and applause to our valuable speakers today. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, Federica, and thank you.
Will members, please note my new email on the contact details. Please take a look, and everybody of you will have the same.
Exactly.
Soon, when you finish the bio and the picture.
Exactly. All the Will members will have this mailbox.
It works. It works. Yesterday, I sent out my first Will League email.
Email. That's
Thank
great.
you, everybody, for attending, and we are open for questions.
Thank you very much. So first, I see two attendees. Let's see if they are well connected. I see Annabelle Naranadle from Miami. Annabelle, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you very well. Thank you very much for the presentation. It was very interesting.
Few words on Annabelle. Annabelle is a criminal lawyer in Miami, newcomer in Will, with a very special personal story and linked to the United Arab Emirates and to Middle East. So please, Annabelle, introduce yourself briefly before the Q&A session, because your attendance is valuable here tonight. Please.
Thank you so much, Marco. So a little background about me. I'm English and Lebanese, but I grew up in Dubai, and I currently practice criminal defense in Miami. I do a lot of international criminal cases as well. And Joseph and Federica, your presentation was excellent. I have to say, as someone who's grown up in Dubai my whole life, it is an amazing thing to see Israel and the UAE coming together in this way. I hope that it encourages other countries to do the same thing. I was afraid I wasn't going to get to see it in my lifetime, but I'm very glad that it's happening. And your presentation was very informative. Thank you.
So thank you, Annabelle. Very important, your attendance. US had a role in making it possible between Israel and United Arab Emirates. So thank you for your attendance. The perfect bridge between Israel and UAE tonight. Thank you. I see, I think a guest for Yossi. Maybe, can you introduce your guest, Kfir Kessler? Maybe you...
Kfir, hello Kfir.
Kfir.
Hey Yossi,
Tell everybody about yourself.
So a little bit about myself. I'm an investment banker. I mainly focus on technology, cybersecurity, agrotech, all over the board. Do mainly early stage and Series A, and represent very interesting companies here in Israel. As a startup nation, we are very innovative, and we have great companies and great technology ideas, which I'm sure that collaborating with the UAE will benefit the two countries greatly.
Great. Thank you, Kfir. Thank you, Yossi, for inviting him, a very valuable guest today. Thank you very much, Kfir. So let's go to our, let's say, 10 minutes Q&A session. I break the ice, okay? I break the ice. I take the lead for breaking the ice here. So United Arab Emirates and Israel started a new session in the relationship between Arab countries and Israel. I heard about also Bahrain. Bahrain also followed UAE. And so the question is, do you think other Arab countries such as Saudi Arabia, for example? I heard that Saudi Arabia, I think Yossi, you told me, or you wrote in the chat, that Saudi Arabia allowed Israeli aircrafts, civil aircrafts, aircrafts to fly over Saudi Arabia. So do you think, both you and Federica, do you think, is it a new era between the two worlds? What do you think?
Federica, ladies first.
Okay, Saudi Arabia, I am sure it will come, but it will take a little bit more time. It's an older country. It's a much bigger country than the UAE, and it will take a little bit more for them to join us, but I am sure that they will.
Okay.
I don't know. I really don't have the tools to give an answer on this question. It's very much on the American elections coming up, on the outcome. It is very much on the relationship between the Arab countries and themselves, between the Sunnis and the Shiis, I don't know in English, Shiim, and there are different groups, different interests, but I'm sure that the peace between United Arab Emirates and Israel will be a warm peace. It will be a warm peace because it is the logical thing. Nobody shot at each other, so there's no real hatred. And therefore, we will have the opportunity to meet other representatives or businessmen from other Arab countries on Emirates soil and connect with them, maybe under the radar, maybe over the radar, before the politicians will come into the, that's how I see it. But you can never know. We spoke about it 2 weeks earlier before they announced the treaty. I asked, oh, where is this going? I would like to, and she said, I don't know. We didn't know, and whoops, 2 weeks later. So we cannot, we will wake up tomorrow with an announcement of Saudi Arabia saying we are making peace with Israel, which will be most exciting. I hope so. We pray for it.
I think it's complex scenario in the Middle East because of the internal relationships between the Arab countries themselves.
Yes.
There are issues with Qatar. The Arab world is Sunni and Shiism, and there is Iran, and there are different sides. So I think yeah, step by step. But even the longer journeys begin with a step. So let's go ahead. So
Okay,
I see.
Let's call it baby steps.
Sorry.
Let's call them baby steps.
Yeah.
We're happy with them.
Yeah, definitely. It's a one big step, not so small one. So I see 2 attendees who want to ask questions or remarks. So I see Pallavi Divekar from Mumbai, India. Pallavi.
So thank you so much, Joseph and Marco. As you know, I was waiting for this presentation from last night when I was sitting on my computer yesterday at 9:30, and it was well worth it. Thank you, Frederica, for the presentation.
We had a good one-to-one, Pallavi. We had a good one-to-one.
Very nice, yes. We spoke for almost an hour. So I just wanted to comment that traditionally, both the countries separately have been good friends of India. So I see a great chance for India to benefit from this liaison. Don't you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yes. Tax heaven. Tax heaven.
Okay.
But excuse-moi, the profit has to be divided, and then the domestic rules apply. Okay, I don't want anybody to quote me, it's tax heaven and that's it. No, but in the meanwhile, before the dividends have to flow, it is a local tax system which is very low rates. So it's very sympathetic for a business who wants to grow because the money stays in the business and it can grow. Once you have to divide the dividends, of course, you have to pay your own tax. That's what I meant. Okay, please. Yes, but yes, Dr. Pallavi, it's great potential for your continent also. Very much.
Great. Thank you very much. Then I see Alejandro Martinez. Alejandro?
Thank you. I had confirmation question, but in order that you can understand me, I would like to have the support to translate for Luz Helena or Marcos, Abel. Can you help me?
Yes, sure.
Okay, thank you. Estaba viendo que México tiene tratado de doble tributación con Emiratos Árabes Unidos, pero no, de acuerdo a lo que estoy viendo en la página de nuestro Servicio de Administración Tributaria, no tenemos tratado firmado con Israel. No sé si está actualizada esta información o no. Aquí mi pregunta sería si que con base en esto que estamos escuchando de ustedes, podrían haber negociaciones por medio de Emiratos Árabes para efectos de que haya comercio con gente de Israel y utilizar, digamos, que esta apertura que se está dando entre ambos países para que entre México y Israel pueda haber esa negociación, digamos.
Okay, está claro. Luz Helena, can you help?
Of course. Alejandro is asking if we know that Mexico has a tax treaty with Emirates, but not with Israel, as far as we know. But he would like to know if that is true and if they are doing something in order to have it in order to Mexico get some benefits from this too.
Treaty of
And what is the question? What kind of treaty is there?
Double taxation.
Double taxation.
Just a minute. I have to Google it. I don't know.
I mean, Alexandro referred that he knows that there are a treaty established between Mexico and United Arab Emirates, but not with Israel. And he would like to know if, as Luz Helena remarked and underlined, if actually with the help now with the United Arab Emirates, Mexico also can quicker lead to a new treaty on double taxation with Israel. I mean, I think the general question is, having, I don't know the English, if you have a relationship with point A has a relationship with point B, then if it's possible for point B to have a direct relationship with point C, you know, the 1 point has a relationship with the two guys, but if it's possible to have a new relationship through the new friend, let's say, okay.
Well, I found a Mexico tax reform decision from 2013, December 11, that is effective since January 1st, 2014, and it includes Israel. So I think there is an agreement between Mexico and Israel on tax. I don't see a reason there shouldn't be, because there is a warm relationship between Israel and, but of course this has to be, I have to Google this much more. You have to research that, but I think there is some kind of agreement. But anyway, just a minute.
Sorry.
I want to go on this. Not that I'm not a tax expert, and I know my way around, but I don't give advice on taxes. I want to emphasize that. I'm always afraid that people think that I give advice on taxes. But the major issue here is that the operation is on the Emirates. It can be concerning Israeli issues, Israeli technology, agricultural knowledge, whatever. But the operation is in the Emirates, and it's a real operation, not an artificial operation. You have Federica, you have a company, you have a CEO, you have a bank account, you have everything, you have contracts. And then you have also a Mexican partner in the Emirates. And the Mexican partner sends whatever he wants to send, the exporter sends whatever he wants to send through this partnership into the region wherever he can. Into Israel, he buys technology out of Israel. That is the major advantage that I see of this treaty, because before August 2020, when you operated in the Emirates, you could not buy one thing from Israel. Is that correct, Federica? You had this boycott, right? And that is abolished. So anybody here wants to buy something in Israel, you can do it in the Emirates. That's the news. And it's great. It's great news, because the tax rates in the Emirates, I'm laughing because I really love it. It's great. It's just great. So it's a great opportunity. And of course, it has to be done seriously, even on medium size. It has to be done seriously and researched and taking experts on it. But you have the infrastructure, the human resource on ground with Federica in Israel through me, and you can do it. So that's my message to you guys all over the world. Countries to find opportunities that might work on this new operational structure environment. Yes.
Yeah.
The advantage that we wanted to stress about, that is for the rest of the world. So regardless of the excitement, of my excitement and Joseph's excitement, is the opportunity that the rest of the world has to use the network that now that the UAE has and channel it to Israel. And I'm not talking about taxation, I'm not talking about tax planning, I'm talking about commercial agreements. So if the UAE has a double taxation treaty and a commercial agreement with Mexico, and Mexico doesn't have one with Israel, what you can do, you can use the UAE to channel the commercial agreement from Mexico to the UAE, from the UAE to Israel. And it's perfectly acceptable. And that is the advantage that this peace treaty is giving to the rest of the world.
Okay, great. Thank you, Federica and Joseph.
I would like to emphasize another thing. When I presented Israel to our members, it was the first presentation, I believe.
Yeah.
I was talking about that Israel has sold technology over $71 billion. I was amazed by the number. $71 billion technology was sold by Israel. Not the merchandise, the technology, the shares, the rights, the intellectual property. Now, these $71 billion could not go to the Emirates. They could not do that. They were out of the game. The Emirates were out of the game from their decision. Now you can do it through the Emirates. And that opens possibilities on the other side because of the network of the Emirates. So commercially, it's a big potential.
Right.
That's what I see.
Okay.
Mario is
Mario wants
to ask a question.
Yeah, to ask a question. Mario.
I have read that the Emirates launched a bid for Haifa port. For Haifa port. Haifa.
Yes.
And yeah, I read that there is a privatization for that port, and the port looks me to be strategic for Israel. It's strategic. How can a foreign country could have and manage that port? So that is so strategic for Israel.
Well, the answer is, first of all, it's not the Haifa port. It's part of the Haifa port, which will be privatized. The second thing is, business is not political. If a foreign company gives the best deal on a deal, and there is no political prevention, there is no boycott law that does not allow me to take their offer, then I can take the offer. This company doesn't come with an army. They come with businessmen. They come to run a port. If they know how to run a port, we will be happy to give them to run a port. And if they pay for it, it's even better. That is business. It has nothing to do with politics. It's just business. But and don't forget that England and France, although they did not have a border, a land border between them, they were at war for 700 years or 500 years. They were shooting at each other all the time, trying to conquer each other. Now a French company can run a British port, and a British company can run the French railway system. It's business. The moment the politics ends, the business starts. It's a different system. So I think I don't see any I really see no reason not to accept a serious offer from a country who we have a bilateral relationship with, and we see no reason they will not keep this agreement. That is the major issue of these agreements. I want to tell you something. We have a peace treaty with Egypt. We had 5 big wars against Egypt. Dozens of thousands of people lost their lives over the years. We had this peace treaty. Sadat was a very courageous man, the Egypt president. He came to Israel to make peace. And immediately he was accepted. And we gave back the Sinai Desert, immediately, no argument. But then he was assassinated. That's internal politics. But a few years ago, the Muslim Brotherhood won the election in Egypt. We were all afraid that the peace treaty will fall down. That's it. They will declare, they will say it doesn't count. It didn't happen. They were on the government for 2 years, I believe, or 3 years. They were overthrown, again, internal political issues. And now they have a president who's actually very pro-Israel. But you see that the treaty held. The contract held. The peace treaty between Israel and Egypt held, although extremists came to power. So we don't have to be hysterical about this. We don't have to be hysterical that the Emirates will receive the F-35. On the contrary, it will strengthen the area. It will strengthen the area. It will bring peace to the area. And we have to just learn to trust each other. When we start at a young age to teach that you can trust somebody, then they will trust them. But these agreements are very strong. And the example of Egypt is the best example, because I personally was also afraid. Wow, when this Morsi came to power, I said, oh, something will happen. We will have problems in the southern border. But it didn't happen. It stayed solid, solid. These agreements are very strong. That's why I'm so happy about this agreement. I have no doubt. Everybody says, you know, Arab country, they would change, some revolution, whatever. Yeah.
Okay, so it's time to end this session. It's exactly 60 minutes. So let's open up again our microphones. Very interesting presentation. Thank you very much, Yossi. Thank you very much, Federica.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think more presentations will follow up, maybe on some specific topics, taxation, for example, or some specific sectors, high tech or whatnot. So we recorded this session. We will let it available to all the attendees because I think knowledge is worth spreading, and we started these sessions on purpose. So thank you very much to everybody, and enjoy your day.
Thank you, Federica. Thank you.
For the Mexican colleagues, we'll meet in
Thanks a
4
lot.
hours. Okay, no, not yes, 4 hours. Ciao, ciao, ciao. See you
Ciao,
later.
ciao.
Ciao.
Bye, everybody.
Ciao, everybody.
Bye,
Ciao,
thank
everybody.
you.
Ciao, ciao, ciao.
Bye.